Welcome to another serving of the Final Scoop podcast. My name is Robert Schinetsky, the supplement engineer. Joining me as always is my international band of brothers, Lukasz, Rytkowski, Prometeus Intelligent Sports Technology, Robert Samborsky, Apollon Nutrition, the one and only one to be late today, Shane Smith.
I wasn't late. I turned this on and I was bang on the zero. I was perfectly timed.
As usual.
As usual. Thank you, one and all, for joining us. Post up any comments, questions, queries, quips, smart-ass remarks you may have for our panel of influencers, insiders, game changers, thought leaders, and titans of industry. Welcome back, my friends. It's good to see your beautiful faces, as always, and you too, Robbie. We're happy, as always, to join you. And, thank you, as always, for joining us out there in the YouTube-verse. Hopefully we don't get canceled for anything we're probably going to say that's going to offend some snowflakes out there today.
Lukasz will get us canceled, 100%.
Only I had to hit the go live button about 15 seconds before I did.
Oh, yeah, 15 seconds before, we would have been fucked.
We'd have had a nuke to drop on.
Hey, bro, by the way, I got a question for you guys. When you go to the shitter, you do your stuff, right? So, when you take the toilet paper, do you roll it in a bowl, or you fold it in a, few pieces together and then wipe your ass? Which option?
This is a tough question because
it's a trick question.
I'm one of two minds because the fold is my go-to.
Mm-hmm.
However, let's just say I had, I don't know, we say spicy food or right?
Yeah.
And you sit down and it's just you feel like you're pushing out a log.
Spray.
And it's actually like a sprinkler, right?
Yeah.
And you look in the toilet and you're like, it's literally like horizontal. I don't even understand how it even got that high. I'm not risking the size of the toilet paper folded. I'm gonna go ball it a bit. I'll start with a fold and then just ball it to get bigger space.
Yeah.
I don't want shit on my hand.
Yeah.
The worst thing is that I don't mind wiping Ava's ass in the shower, wiping all the poo out. I'm not going in my own swamp. That's just fucking nasty.
Do you use the regular toilet paper or
no? That's the thing.
The
Nikki found extra wide toilet paper,
okay.
So it really helps in a situation that if I have spicy food, it's gonna be really bad for me to It's just an insurance purpose to cover more space. That's all.
Yeah.
Hello, one and all. Alex, Sandy, Mitch, Sean, Simon, yes. And I can't believe that Shane has a precise answer. Yes, I thought scary.
I thought it would be a good topic to start the podcast.
It's a great topic.
Yeah. It was something.
Fold or ball? I think we're going to name it that. Fold or ball the toilet paper? Is that what we're going to call it?
The ball just covers more space.
Yeah, but see, you can't get a second wipe after that. The ball, it's one and done. Whereas if you fold,
but that's what I'm saying. If it's an explosive, volcanic poo, you're not gonna have room to go for a second wipe anyway. It's every time you wipe and then you look at it and you're like, "Holy shit! Where did all that come from?"
Yeah, you basically sit down and it's like a waterfall for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Justin, you finally caught the live, and you were greeted by us talking about bowel movements and spraying.
I didn't ask this question, just so you know. I know it's usually me. It wasn't me this time.
It's me.
The amount of times I've heard on different bodybuilding podcasts where they say it's explosive, it's spraying. It almost makes it seem like these guys have this on a regular occurrence. I can probably count on my hands the times that has actually happened to me, to where it is plastered. The thing, and it's
I can
you
count
need to go
maybe
with a Clorox brush afterwards and clean it up.
I got
I can count maybe a week.
I got one more additional question.
Is it doo-doo related?
No, it's not. It's not about shit. It's about food right now. So
we do learn new things always.
When you go to the restaurant and you order surf and turf, right?
We go from shit to food.
Yeah, that's how I roll.
With this.
That's how I roll, man. I'm always happy, to bring some cool stuff, Plus, we need some variety in our lives, right?
Agreed.
Not only talk about supplements and other crap.
Yeah, fuck supplements.
Yeah, no one listens to this show, so fuck that. But anyways, you go to the restaurant, right, and you order surf and turf. Which part of the meal you eat first? Steak or seafood?
Steak.
Shane?
I mean, you can't ask me this because I don't eat seafood.
Yeah.
I know, but
What do you mean? You know? You can't ask me. I would never ever order that ever.
you don't eat any seafood, like any,
Did it-
for example,
did it-
prawn or
Did it come from the sea?
Yeah.
Logan, just
Yeah, then
joined the
it's
live. And the
seafood.
first thing I hear is it's explosive. It's spraying. What the fuck did I come into? All right, go ahead, Shane.
I mean, if it's from the sea, I'm not going to eat it.
Robert?
I think it kind of depends on the format of the surf and turf. So if I get a steak, I mean the turf part's always going to be the same. It's going to be a steak no matter what. I'm not going to order like a burger with grilled shrimp. It's going to be some kind of really nice grilled steak. And then I typically don't order that if I go to a restaurant. But let's say in this world, like if I'm in Vegas and we're at the Supply Southwest or the Olympia or something like that, and you go to one of those all-you-can-eat buffets, then I'm going to get something, or one of those Brazilian steakhouses, and they'll come around with seafood options every now and then. So I'll do that. And if it's like grilled shrimp, I'm going to eat the shrimp first. I'll probably eat that because I want to save the steak. Like I always end up saving the best thing for last instead of eating it first. So I'll go for the shrimp first, or I might intermix. Like I'll have most of the shrimp go to take a bite of steak and then finish off the shrimp. But if it's like a crab topping on top of the steak, I'll probably do a little bit of mix and match, but the last bite will almost always be steak because that's kind of what I want to finish the meal with.
Okay, last question and I'm done.
Yes.
And it's also about food.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a meal, right? Let's say it's chicken and rice. No fucking veggies. Only chicken and rice, right? Like a bodybuilding type of a meal. Do you eat separate, like let's say carbs first and protein last? You mix things up? Or you eat protein first and then carbs last?
No, I'm mixing it together.
Depends.
Well, if it's like steak and potatoes, I'm gonna take a bite of each, and I don't mix those two together. But if it is actually, if we're talking specifically just chicken and rice, I'm gonna be mixing it together.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can get chicken in a breast form,
In a breast form or pressed?
like a big breast.
Yeah. What about it?
Wait, so how are you going to mix it together?
You cut a little piece, and then you scoop some rice on your fork, and you eat it.
What the fuck? What are you doing?
Well, I mean, you just pick up the boob, bite into it, and then like shovel in some rice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I do like meal prep here at the house, I'm gonna already chop up the chicken to where I can just use a spoon and mix it all together, and then I can eat it like that. If I'm at a restaurant, they usually don't serve bite-sized chicken. Like you go to an Applebee's or a Chili's or something like that, and you get grilled chicken breasts, and then they're gonna have a side of like a little rice pilaf on the side, or like some steamed rice or Mexican rice, whatever. I'm still probably gonna slice a bite of the chicken, maybe take a bite of that, then I'll scoop in a bite of rice, or do something like that. I'll eat that, I'll start chewing, and then I'll scoop in some rice as I'm swallowing the chicken. The rice is
Rice tastes like shit, man. Rice tastes like ass.
Rice is amazing.
It doesn't have a flavor. It's like it's plain as fuck.
You're assuming
Do you like the taste of water as well? Is water delicious?
Rice. I'm not that boring.
I just eat them. Regardless of what's on the plate, it's the best thing I eat first. If it's chicken, then I'm eating that first. If it's steak, I'm eating that first. If I want to have anything else, maybe. I'm not putting it together. That's just silly. I apologize. That's just silly.
You never mix your food.
No. Unless it's like a dish where it's made to be mixed, like spaghetti and meatballs and all that shit. Like things that are like already pre-mixed.
What about if it's like, let's say you get a cup of rice and a curry?
That's gonna be mixed together.
You mix it up, or you
Fries and curry.
no
rice.
rice.
Right. Okay.
Ah,
Like you
My
just
friend
scoop the
did a couple-
curry onto the rice and you swirl and you eat.
yeah. I thought you said a cup of fries and curry. I was like, that sounds fucking horrible.
Dip the fries in the curry. Okay, so I know Lucas. This will not apply to Lucas because I'm sure he's never had one of these before. But Shane, you are familiar with the fast food establishment known as Wendy's, are you not? McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's.
Curly red hair girl.
Yes. Do you? It's a common thing that people do.
Do you think she's real, by the way?
I don't think so.
Well, obviously she's dead now, but back
Yeah.
then.
At one point,
Because
did
like
she
Colonel
exist?
Sanders obviously made
Yeah.
like
I
this
thought that was
KFC.
I thought that was his daughter's. Like his daughter's name was Wendy. Like the personification on the actual ads may not be that, but I think his daughter, the founder of
Well, that's
Wendy's,
kinda
was named
nice.
Dave, and his daughter was Wendy. I think. I don't think she may
It's
have.
a little
I'm
bit
pretty sure
sweet,
she didn't
isn't
look
it?
like that, but it was her name.
Huh. Don't know, I just thought it was a girl who named Wendy who made it. That's all. Anyway, continue.
Where was I going with that? Oh, okay. So you get the Frosty at Wendy's. Did you ever get the Frosty at Wendy's? The little frozen concoction that's dairy free, but it tastes like ice cream. Did you ever dip your French fries into the Frosty and eat it?
Mate,
People do that here.
I
I think it's gross. I don't want to ruin my French fries or my Frosty.
I don't mix my dessert with anything.
Okay, good.
You know what? When I was a chubby little bastard,
Mhm.
I always use my fries and I dip them in ice cream.
Ugh, that's so gross.
No, that's another level. But that's another level of fatness. That's why I'm fat.
I remember I went to the movies once with my friend, and she get like a ice cream, like a ice cream in a cone, and I had like a thing of popcorn. She put the ice cream in the popcorn,
Yeah.
and it reached across, and I'm like, "The fuck you doing?" And she's like, just looks at me like I'm the fucking weird one right here. I was like, "Look,
Yeah.
they sell them separate. It's not. I mean, you can get them in a combo, but they sell these things separate. If they wanted you to have the ice cream in the popcorn, they would have fucking sold you the ice cream in the damn popcorn. Okay, that's just weird.
I gotta admit, I like this combo, popcorn and
What the
ice cream.
fuck? You just go and ruin the popcorn for everyone else when you drip your shitty ice cream all through the popcorn.
That's the thing. It's it's the sweet and salty thing. That's why
No.
that's why I probably like it that much. Plus, when I eat, for example, ice cream, I need to top it up with something crunchy. Let's say, if I'm eating like ice cream, I can't eat ice cream solely. I need some crunchiness, some texture to it. So, for example, I don't remember, but for the longest period of time, I was eating my ice cream with some rice cakes. Bro, that's just like another level.
You could put like chopped nuts on there or something like that if you want some.
Yeah,
texture.
you may look at me odd right now, but if you're gonna try it, you will say, "Fucking Lukasz is genius."
I think they're always looking at you odd, but
It's because he's Polish. It's fine.
Yeah, I changed the game. That's why.
I'm one thing at a time. Chicken rice, I'll eat the chicken then the rice. I will eat my dessert before my dinner if I can, but most places don't let you do that.
Paul, I eat it together. Cut a piece of the seafood and a piece of steak.
Oh, it's just
What is
Up
extra
the-
wide toilet paper? I thought they just like toilet paper just came in one size. Like it's
Nah,
thicker
bruh.
necessarily, or more
Nah.
sheets on
Hey,
it.
Rob,
I can show you.
Wider.
Robbie,
I got an extra wide piece right here.
Robbie, maybe you are familiar with the gray toilet paper.
Oh yeah,
Really toilet paper?
yeah. That's back in the day, Soviet Union and Eastern European countries. Yeah.
Or was
So
it
this-
just like a leaf or something, like tree bark that you were wiping your ass with?
No, just the color was gray. Yeah,
But this
Was it
shit,
like gray brown, right?
Was it like
Yeah.
used?
no. But the thing is, with the gray toilet paper, it would scratch your ass so bad that you could like bleed through your asshole. Seriously, it was so bad. It's still available here in Poland.
Really?
Yeah, you can still buy it, but in the most cheapest stores, like for 1 zloty buy buy the whole store. Or
Damn,
something
one's
like
Lottie.
I'm pretty
That's some
sure.
cheap ass paper.
I'm pretty sure, you know what, there is always going to be not even a demand, but something like that people will buy. Like cheap stuff will always be available, you know. Even over here, I'm pretty sure if you walk into $99 store, I mean, the things that you can see there are probably astonishing, and you would be surprised.
Yeah. But anyways, I thought this was like cool questions to start the podcast.
Those are
Hello,
actually,
everybody.
here we go. You need to go between the steak and back and forth. That's a good point, Mitch. Alex, Stack 3D review on Charmin Ultra Soft.
Huh.
Yes. Can we have toilet paper of the year too, Shane? Can we have that?
I'll send them a trophy.
Thanks. Please do. Pete, little late, but don't worry, I'm here. Let's get started. If you missed the opening 10 minutes of dialogue,
You didn't miss much.
You didn't miss shit. No pun intended.
Sean, I'm painting ceiling, so the comments are all you today. Some big shoes to fill. Don't let us down, Sean. Do I know you? Oscar. Salty and sweet. People like sweet bacon as well.
Correct.
Yeah, bacon, bacon can be good. So the salty sweet contrast is good. But just in certain instances, I don't want a French fry, which is supposed to be crispy, dipped into cold ice cream. Because that ruins both of them for me, at least.
It's just a separation of menus for me.
Right, yeah.
I was going to ask, have you heard of the place Texas Chicken?
No.
We have a place here called Texas Chicken. I think it's, is it like a place like Church's Chicken or something? I've seen the logo in America. I was just curious. Do you think this place is a good representation of your entire state's food? I was curious.
It says Church's Texas Chicken? That's Toronto. On
The one here is just Texas Chicken, but I know that different places, some places get different names. In Australia, Burger King's called Hungry Jack's.
There's a Texas Chicken and Burgers.
I don't know. I'm just saying there's one here, and I was just like, well, that's a very confident name to wanting to do the state of Texas proud.
Is it?
I had their chicken. It's not bad.
Does it look like this?
Nah.
Okay.
I will look up the logo because I know I've seen it in the US.
Never frozen, always fried.
Texas Chicken Malaysia. Texas Chicken Malaysia restaurant features original and spicy. That doesn't seem right either. Okay. Weird. Texas Chicken is evolving and changing. Yeah, this looks like Church's Chicken, but it says Texas Chicken on it. Maybe because the countries in which these are located.
Yeah, it is. It's Church's Chicken.
What is
We
this?
call it Texas Chicken.
Is it located in Baltic regions? What is it?
Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Oman,
No.
Oh, there you go.
Pakistan,
Isn't that Romania?
Yeah, this one.
Oh no,
Belarus,
Belarus.
New Zealand. There you go, Shane.
We're on the fucking map. Look how big that world is.
Yeah,
We're there.
there's Shane.
Not Australia.
Yeah, right there.
We are there. Look how small that piece of shit is. Look at the rest of the world. We don't even. That's why they complain that when there's world maps, we sometimes get left off. I can understand why. We're in the bottom fucking corner.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, there we go. There's New Zealand.
You can see me.
Otherwise,
See that little. See that
Right there.
skinny part at the top.
Yeah, right there.
No, the skinniest part. A little bit down. A little bit down. A little bit down. That is where half the country lives.
Is that Auckland?
Yeah, that's where I am.
Right.
I was saying, if a tsunami comes through and just takes out, it's because it's so fucking thin.
The most gangster.
What the hell is this down here? Is this where you send all the prisoners? Is this the penal colony part of New Zealand?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
It's some little island. Wait,
I know what the other one at the bottom is, but I
Yeah,
don't know
I
what that one is.
I don't know.
Apparently it's ours, though.
You
Yeah.
own it. Ownership.
Yeah, man.
Okay. While we're still on the food deal, here we go. Shane, I enjoyed your podcast with Mark. Curious to see what NutriBio comes up with.
Thank you, Sridhar, for listening to my
Of
podcast.
course, Sridhar.
You want to hear weird? Coke mixed with vanilla ice cream. No, it's a Coke float.
Yeah, it's a Coke float,
Or
isn't
it's like
it?
a root. I like root beer floats more than Coke floats, but that was. I never saw a Coke float for a long time. It was always root beer floats by us, and then somebody came into like Coke did that Coke float commercial, and the rest
When
is
you were
history.
when you were kids, did you use Mentos to put them in the Coke?
Yeah.
In the Diet Coke, yeah, man, you go. Pfft. My
Okay,
grandma always had a packet of. I called them Mama mints because that's what we called my grandma, Mama, and
Did
she
you
always had
did
those
you
mints.
did you try to put the Mentos, you do the volcano and then try to drink it?
No, I never tried to drink it. I just watched it spew
I,
out of
I,
the top.
tried it. I tried it a few times, and the Coke was spilling through my nose.
Yeah. Poland.
We got nothing else.
6
to do.
stores and sandpaper grade toilet paper.
Oh, I was 10 years old. Fuck off.
They didn't have roads then either, Shane.
Yeah, I was gonna
They
say,
still can occupy their
I
time.
mean, you didn't have roads, probably no parks.
When I was 10 years old, we probably didn't have roads.
French fries. Okay, there's an entire spectrum of French fries. You can have the thin McDonald's French fries that are nice and thin and crispy. You can have slightly thicker French fries that are chips, like for fish and chips. They're not super crispy. They're more chewy. Then you have the steak fries that are like that long, about maybe that thick. And they're typically not super crispy. They might have a little crisp, but they have a nice pillowy texture. What is your favorite type of French fry? I want them
McDonald's.
crispy. I want them bitches crispy.
Whatever McDonald's sells.
Yeah, thin and crispy.
If they sell bigger ones, I'd probably like them too. I don't really care. The fry is like, no one buys just fries by itself though. No one's like, oh, give me 5 boxes of fries. It's what it goes alongside.
No, when my mom would pick me up from high school, she would look at me and she'd say, "Is it a Friday, Robert?" I would say, "What are you talking about?" I said, "It's Wednesday, Mom." She says, "No, it's a Friday." And then so we'd go to McDonald's and we'd each get a supersized fry.
Bought fries.
We just order 2 orders of like supersized fries, one for me, one for her, and sometimes I'll get an Oreo McFlurry too.
You know what? Like when I get there,
Yeah.
I don't know if we're gonna eat, Robert. I don't know what I'm gonna do. what are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Where can we go?
McDonald's. You can do McDonald's.
No one just orders fries. It's ridiculous. Maybe like
It was a drive-through. It's not like we went inside to do it. And usually we were on the way. I was on the way to like from school to taekwondo or piano practice or something.
oh, you're carb loading. I see.
Yeah,
But
I want to say that you guys love your carbs, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's new with Apollon, Robbie?
Lionheart.
Imminent release. Imminent.
Yeah, Lionheart is making a lot of noise. We filmed a commercial yesterday. I showed Robert a little clip, and that was brutal. Not
The label is already out.
Monday.
Monday.
The label is out, and yesterday we went to my old MMA school that I train out of, and ironically, it's called Lionheart. And we trained over there, and it was just supposed to be me hitting the pads and stuff, but it ended up training with another guy, like partner work, and then we kind of forced Carolina to jump in and take part in it too. And I just saw a few clips that they sent us. I mean, even I'm surprised. It just looks badass. I mean, I don't think we've ever done a video like that. It's just something, I'm surprised that even I talked to TJ this morning. I'm surprised how much attention Lionheart is getting, because Kumite was a popular product, but it wasn't like, I wouldn't call it a top, badass product or anything like that. And to be honest with you, and by the way, Sean, thanks for the question, but Kumite was one of the products that I was least proud of. I liked the concept. I liked the category and what it intended for, and it was good. It was a good product. It was solid, but that was a product that I Robert probably remembers this because we've been friends for a while. That was a product, and this is actually a good example, kind of explain myself why I criticize sometimes certain supplements and because I have very high expectations. I have high expectations of myself, and I have high expectations of everybody. And when somebody is putting out a crappy product, underdose product, or somebody puts out a product that questionable or based on possible synergy or something like that, all those claims, they don't sit well with me, and I'm just expressing an opinion. It's not something where I want to shit on your product or shit on anything, but if we are discussing it, there is no way that I'm going to hold back and I'm going to call you out, or not necessarily call you out, but I'm going to say exactly what I think, because I'm dead against, and I always will be. That's the reason why, even guys, when it comes to you, I will always argue. I will never, ever accept anything underdosed. I don't care about synergy. I don't care about anything, because to me, it's all about anecdotal reports, and it's about possibility. I don't play possibilities. People don't play possibilities. I'm against brands targeting, oh, you know what, you should stack two products together. No, you shouldn't. You could, but you shouldn't, because that means you're just forcing people to spend more money. And in that regard, Kumite is not something I was proud of, because I felt like it was, by Apollon standards, by my standards, I thought it was mediocre at best. It was a good product by a lot of people's standards, and it worked, no doubt about it. But it was something that Robert and I discussed many times. It wasn't a top seller. It wasn't something that I felt it was like kind of like a stain on a whole line, because I felt that's the one that I could easily pick on and say, okay, this is not exactly the dosage, it's not exactly, I felt like it wasn't complete. This one, this one is hard to argue. I mean, you've seen the formula yourself, so I'm not like just bullshitting or anything like that. This formula is kick-ass formula, and I've used the product now for a few days, and it's just everything. I don't even know, like, that's the first time that when we finished the product, when Robert and I, kind of like worked on a formula a little bit back and forth. I honestly, looking at that, I have absolutely no plans right now to release, like I usually do. I can release a product and say like, oh, I already know what's going to be in the new one. I have no clue when it's going to be in the new one. I don't even have any plans or ideas to kind of upgrade the formula, because this is just, but at the same time, I'm surprised, because, it's intended for fighters and, endurance, but the attention that it got, maybe because it was so delayed and so expected by so many people. I don't know why it got the attention that it got, to be honest, because this morning, even talking to TJ, and he goes to me, did you send me Lionheart? And I was like, no, I didn't. He goes to me, why not? I'm like, because you fucking review Assassin and shit like that. This is not. Yeah, this is not that type of product. And he was like, please send it to me, because I definitely want to, I want to try it. So, yeah, the excitement is through the roof. I'm super, super excited for next week.
Now you said it live. So people are going to say that TJ is bullshitting and he's paid by Apollon.
100%. You know what? The check is in the mail. Shane just ripped me off because he overcharged me for fucking trophy. He fucking not only charged me for nomination, he also charged me to win, and then he fucking sent me a bill for the trophy as well, and then called me and he says, hey, motherfucker, I forgot to charge you for shipping. So, it's a fucking rip-off.
By the way, I wanted to ask you about one thing. Did you try to drink from the cup that Shane sent you?
No, because you're a fucking sick fucker, and Carolina, you the ones who fucking, she goes to me, we gotta drink champagne out of it. I'm like, no, I'm not drinking anything out of it. So
you drink vodka out of it. You're Russian. Get the vodka.
I'm pretty sure she will drink, and you're a sick fuck too, because you fucking posted that like the next day.
I would definitely do that, and I wasn't bragging when I was, sending this post your way. But
you know what was the funniest thing? When the guys from Obvi, they posted a video of them getting the trophy, and they started making out with the trophy and like kissing it.
Yeah.
That was funny. I really like it. Like, literally, it was like a gangbang. You have like 4 guys fucking making out with a trophy. I thought it was very, very cute.
Yeah, but Romak and his team like acted like like a pussy boys, and I was like waiting, when they will do something with the cop, and they didn't.
You know what? Shit, I don't want to get canceled, but you know what? When Ronak took the fucking trophy, do you know who he remind me of?
Yeah.
Teletubby. I swear he looks like a little Teletubby, like, and fucking moving and kissing. And I was like, shit, you know what? I want to fucking buy Ronick and fucking give him to a kid to play with.
Yeah, but you know what? It was really cool to see that. You know,
No,
and
I like that enthusiasm and that fire. It was very, very cool. It was very, but it was so funny at the same time. I see, like literally, I don't think I kissed my wife on the wedding night the way they kissed that trophy.
yeah, speaking
They
of
made that video real quick too. He
yeah,
texted me being like, "We just got it," and I was like, "Oh my!" And then like within 30 minutes, an hour, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." It was really cool to see them kind of appreciate that much.
yeah.
No, it was very cool because you know what? As funny as it was very genuine and very real, and I admire that. It was very, very cool to see.
So the trophy will have a special place in the Apollon gym, or where it will stand.
I don't know yet. Like I don't know. Like it's a good question. We're going back and forth, but probably Apollon. Yeah.
Who's gonna take the award? Carolina?
Well, if she decides to, who the fuck's gonna argue with her?
Sridhar, Lucas, you said you tried Coke and Mentos a few times. What made you want to do it more than once?
It's because I wanted to see how much Coke I can drink. And, you know what? Well, the first time when I tried it, it was pretty bad. But after like few times, I got a bit better in it. So you know what? After I tried in like the smaller bottle, not the huge one, 2 liter or anything like that, but the half liter. And I drank a pretty nice amount, but yeah. But it was back in the days, man. Now I'm not doing that shit, anymore.
Simon says, the best fries I had were from a traditional Irish chipper, battered fish and chips. Beautiful. I don't know if I've ever had fish and chips. Sandy's ordered it. Maybe I have. I'm not big on it. I don't know.
Yeah, I had it. You know what? You usually go to the source, so they, okay, you want to try sushi in Japan and probably chips and fish and chips in England. I tried it. I can't say that I didn't like it, but I didn't love it. I mean, I was just very okay. Fine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, living in Louisiana or the New Orleans area specifically, you get spoiled with seafood. I mean, you got everything imaginable, like red fish, snapper, trout, crab, crawfish, shrimp, everything. Everything Shane doesn't like. I mean, we get there. I didn't like seafood growing up, even though we had it. But as I got older and I started to develop a taste for it.
You
Now,
see,
I don't
I
like
feel
fried
like
seafood much. I like grilled, like broiled salmon or like seared salmon or grilled or something like that. Yeah.
But you see, fish and chips, I feel like it's very plain. Not it doesn't taste bad. Don't get me wrong. I just don't feel like there is any like specific flavor or anything to it. But Louisiana seafood, it has a lot of flavor to it. There is a lot of culture behind it, and a lot of I don't know, variety, so to speak. Like you just you went through the whole fucking list, and it wasn't even a full list.
Yeah. There's so much good stuff. Oysters.
I really like when cuisines are using like herbs, spices, those kind of things. But as far as like heavy battered like seafood, I hate that stuff. Because it just like messes up with the entire like dish. Plus, it fucks up the flavor of the seafood. So I don't touch that stuff at all.
Yeah, I guess in defense of it, they typically use a pretty flaky whitefish, which doesn't have like they'll use cod or I think haddock sometimes.
I think so, yeah.
And it's a really bland fish. So I mean, it lends itself. If you're going to deep fry, like you're not going to deep fry fat belly tuna or something like that, or big eye tuna. That would be a huge waste of it. Or it's wild Alaskan salmon. You're not going to be deep frying them bitches. But something like grouper or tilapia, yeah, you can deep fry that stuff. You're not missing out on anything.
You ever had in McDonald's they had this sandwich. It's filet of fish. Yeah. Have you ever tried it?
I never tried that. I never tried a McRib sandwich, and I know people go bonkers and batshit crazy for it. I was a chicken nugget guy, just nuggets and fries. That's all I needed, and lots of ketchup.
Robbie?
No, I can't say so. No.
So you always go for the cow.
Most of the time, yeah. most of the time. Like, oh, I mean, not necessarily. You know what I also like? Because, I mean, the former Soviet Union, it had like 15 republics. So there's a lot of different cultures. So
Yeah.
Georgia, they have, a little bit more to the east. They use
Hmm.
a lot of lamb. I
Yeah.
love lamb. Like, I mean, lamb is actually one of my favorite meats. Maybe actually rivals beef to an extent. Maybe when it not comes to steak, but I mean, lamb chops and especially they very, very good, in that region of part of former Soviet Union. They're very good with shish kebabs. I mean,
Yeah.
lamb shish kebabs are just to die for. They absolutely amazing. So, but yeah, red meat in general probably is where I'm leaning to. But speaking of fish, I actually wanted to ask you something. This actually, even though that Shane is not into seafood, but I believe this is from New Zealand. Orange Roffy.
Orange trophy.
Yeah. What do you
Yeah.
think of it? Because I know that they sell it here at select supermarkets, not everywhere. Typically, I think either Costco or Walmart, and it's typically frozen. And I think that among bodybuilders, if I'm not mistaken, Jay Cutler made it popular. Yes, it's
Yeah.
something. I think so. Yeah, yeah, he made it popular, and I tried it, and it has a bit of a distinct, I want to say fishy smell, but it's not really. It's like different. It's a little bit different, but it probably reminds me a little bit more of cod. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe, but in terms of like meat as just like perfect like fish meat, it's very juicy.
Yeah.
It's very thick,
Yeah. I would say it's more dense.
more dense. Correct. Yeah.
But you know what? At the same time, if you eat too much of it, your shit won't be tapered at all.
You know what? I don't know that if I ever had it too much. I've had it a few times, but I'll tell you what, like for some reason, specifically with that fish, again, I'm not big on seafood as is, but for some reason, when I have orange raffia, like if I had it more than like say twice a week or something like that, like very, very close to each other, I
Mhm.
get very quickly sick of it. Like, like you can have certain food and you can have it like fucking few consecutive days and still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Orange Ruffy is probably among the top fish that I sort of enjoy. Again, I can't say that I love it, but I kind of enjoy it. But the moment I have it like back to back, maybe two consecutive days or something like that, I kind of like it goes from like if it's at 100% level, it goes to like about 30. Like it's just something about it. Like I can't eat it too often.
Mm.
Interesting.
But it's definitely a good fish, especially for the like grilling. You know that.
I actually haven't tried it grilled.
Oh man, it's on point.
Really?
Yeah, man, you need to try. If you never like
Like you mean the fillet or the whole fish?
the whole fish.
I've never seen the whole fish. I only seen the fillet that they sell in supermarkets. Like it's frozen in a bag. I don't know if it's like 2-3 pound bag or something like that.
Well,
Yeah,
here you
like the fillets are too thin to just grill. You need like a fish basket and put that on top of the
Do
grill.
they sell fish in the United States like the whole fish, orange trophy?
I don't know.
I
You
haven't
probably have to go
seen
to
that.
some kind of fancy seafood market. And
I don't know about you guys, but here in every like local fish store you can definitely buy it. The entire fish, or you can buy fillets, just like you want. Or you can also buy the pieces that are smoked.
Yeah,
So
this is the bag that I
in
was looking
Poland,
for.
orange Raffi is like widely available, Lucas?
Yeah, it's available.
Is it considered like fancy or like average price?
You know what? It's not super fancy, but some stores like suggest to
Oh, look at that.
place and pre-order a bit quicker.
Caught in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I mean, every bag that I saw here says New Zealand, as far as I
I would
know.
have no fucking clue, to be honest. But
Shane, do you do much lamb? Because I know, like, in the big superstores here, everything is like New Zealand lamb or New Zealand rack of lamb.
oh yeah, people like lamb here. I don't like it.
No, is it too gamey or?
Yeah, like I always find it quite fatty. Like just I don't know. And then you
What
get
about
like the lamb. That's the one that comes in like the racks of lamb, eh?
What about like fillets? You never or for example, like pieces of lamb.
Oh yeah, like if it comes like cut up in like little pieces, yeah. But usually I just do beef and chicken.
Because for example, like some stores here are like they are like selling like in you have a package and you have like a pieces, for example, of beef, of lamb, of chicken, of turkey, and so on, right? So you can, for example, mix things up. And I always like try to like grab some beef, some lamb, and put everything on the grill or let's say on the pan and just like few minutes stir fry. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just chicken and beef, bro. Very rarely beef. It's mostly chicken.
Would you eat a
I can't be bothered.
blobfish? This is found off the coast of New Zealand as well. So look at
Never
that.
saw.
Would you eat that?
I can tell you that, like, man, I don't spend much time in the fish section, but I don't think I've seen that there.
I don't. Yeah, they probably don't harvest this and sell it. It is.
Because we have like at supermarkets, we have like a meat, your typical meat section of like chicken, beef. We have like some turkey, but not often. It's usually chicken, beef, lamb, and then we have like a whole seafood section, and they've got like trays of like just fish that are caught,
Yeah.
like fresh fish, and then I think it's like is it squid? Might be squid there. It's just like a range of fish. It looks like a beach funeral home. And it's I hate the smell of it. It just grosses me out. So I don't really spend much time there. But apparently that's a rare thing because I know people come to the country where you can see like a what looks like a fresh fish supermarket, like, but actually in a major supermarket store. Yeah, I don't eat it though. It's fucking gross.
Some of those things, there are some weird looking things in the ocean. I mean, as weird as some people can look, you go or like certain animals on land go in the water. There's fucked up stuff down there.
Yeah, I mean you get some pretty weird looking people though. I will admit that.
Especially when they start doing all kinds of enhancements to their, natural.
You know, sometimes they need to do the enhancements. Does it make sense? Sometimes whatever.
Yeah.
Don't get us cancelled.
Probably so. We're offending somebody, but that's okay. Shane, I was scrolling through the news feed a little earlier, trying to catch up with stuff. Is Naughty Boy gearing up for a bunch of releases? Because I saw a couple of news stories.
Yeah, man. It's 3 of them.
So the first is, do we have the full panel for Immortal?
Yes.
That's just it. It's Mito Prime and KSM with
Okay.
Vibe Heron.
Robert, you can go to their also
Yeah,
Facebook page. They release
they've got them on social.
yeah.
We're sharing them one by one rather than dropping them all at once.
Okay.
But yeah,
All are released.
KSM and yeah, I don't ever seen Mito Prime in one of theirs. I don't
It's the old one.
I don't recall
I
seeing
was
it.
just checking to see what this was.
I know.
I haven't seen Mito Prime in anything else.
No, I'm trying to think if any other brands used it.
I looked
know
it
it's
up.
newer
I
on the
didn't.
block.
Nothing. I don't think it's that new, to be honest. I looked it up and they had an NMB had a post on it from like a couple of years ago. So it's not. I don't think it's new.
Well, I think it's gaining traction right now. Is what I guess. I mean, it's going to start being like the new kid on the block for this year. We're going to start hearing more about it.
I don't think that much companies use that ingredient, to be honest.
I couldn't think of any.
Yeah.
I searched my site and found none. I was like, shit. It's the only one I could. The only one I could find was them themselves in another one in the life pack. But yeah, they got
Super
this
expensive.
But it
and
just
Ghetto Gear.
shows that with 2 ingredients you can make a pretty cool formula, right?
The 800 milligram dose is interesting because I think most of the studies just use around 600.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if
Why the
any of
hell
them
not?
have gone up to 900 or 1200.
I've seen
You
some.
know-
I've seen some at 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some at 12.
Some of the studies you're saying, or some supplements that go that high?
Supplements,
Okay.
but it's never a supplement where it's got a handful of ingredients and KSM's in there at 1.2. It's usually just KSM and a few things around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the other one, Turkesterone and Laxo. Oof.
That's just calling my name. When I saw the formula, I was like, it has Lukasz name all around it.
Yeah.
Laxo.
They haven't done a muscle builder either, so it's
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder are they're putting Biopera. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say. I hope they're putting Biopera
Yeah.
in there or something, just to enhance. Just because all of those ingredients have pretty shitty bioavailability, so you're gonna need something in there. If you wanted to do like a liposome, or cyclodextrin, those ingredients are already expensive, and doing those kind of complexes makes it exorbitantly expensive.
If we are on a topic on Turk, Shane, I wanted to ask you about your update. Maybe you can give us some insight.
this thing's a mysterious little bitch.
What do you mean?
Because like, again, I'm still going on the basis that it adds. Like it's, I don't feel any different. I don't feel any like stronger. I don't feel any like more recovered. But I'm as lean as I was at whatever 210 pounds. But I'm 213 on the scale, and for the life of me, I could not budge that number to like it's tracking back down as I was trying to lose weight. But like it's just weird that you can look like you would, but you're 1 or 2 kilos heavier. Like you feel a little like fuller as well, which I think gives the illusion of leanness. But it's just this weird thing. It's like almost like a recomp supplement.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say you put on muscle because I know that's not true, but it just feels like your body's just fuller. And I think that can make you look as lean as you did at like 94, 95 kilos, but you're on the scale, you're like 96, 97. So I think it has this kind of like a water loss supplement. But before I kind of do a review, what I'm going to do is I'm cycling off. Well, not cycling off, I'm just stopping it for 2 to 3 weeks. And then I'm going to go back on for another month. And I'm also going to give it to my friend for a month. Because if it is like I said, like some sort of lean recomp thing, then I should better see a drop and then a jump back up. But if I don't, then I'm just going to think maybe it was actually just me. Because like if it can do what it did again, then that's kind of cool. I can like it's as beneficial to me as a water loss supplement. Being a kilo or 2 heavier and being leaner is something probably people would very much appreciate. And like with creatine, mass moves mass, so 2 kilos could obviously also help lift weights in the gym when you've got extra bit of weight behind you. But it's I'm not 100% like sure that's it. So like I said, if I come off for a few weeks and then go back on, there should be a very clear difference. I should notice when I come off and I should notice when I go back on. And if it can't repeat the effects, then I'm probably going to think more or less it might have been nothing. So it's just the results aren't like 100% convincing, where it might not be that, it might just be me. So we'll find out.
You know what's the funny thing is, like, I'm listening to this and I'm like going over like all the Turkesterone conversations and stuff like that. So for the past couple of days, I decided, especially since we had a little chat in our group, I decided to like devote a little free time to researching this shit as much as I can. Guys, you realize that the bodybuilders who are using all kind of substances, and you realize that the real people, if they are listening to us, like, you know, the knowledgeable people, you realize that they are laughing their asses off about this, because it's bullshit. I mean, plain and simple, let's call reality what it is. Number one, I called people in Russia to connect me with people we have right now in Azerbaijan about Turkesterone from Azerbaijan. And it's very, very reliable sources. I talked to Robert about it. So Turkesterone in Azerbaijan is a pure myth. It doesn't exist, plain and simple. And like I said, this is from very, very, very reliable sources. It doesn't exist. It's made up. It's made up by somebody who's doing marketing. Number two, comparing turkesterone to creatine that is so widely studied and so widely researched, and there is so much information about it. I mean, it's a fucking joke. I'm sorry. Just I mean, listening to it is like my mind is just going all over the place. It's a pure marketing. We've been through it through 7-DHEA. We've been through it through all these compounds that plain and simple don't work. The fluctuations of a kilo or two, they purely based on what you ate that day, the amount of sodium that you took. Your body can fluctuate based on so many variables that it's insane. None of this puts on size. None of it works. And that's the reason why so many people that are actually doing research coming out on YouTube and stuff like that and saying, this is fucking insect product. I mean, that's all it is. It doesn't convert to hormones. How can you put on muscle? You put on muscle because you're genetically gifted, because you have higher testosterone levels in your body, maybe naturally if you're really, really lucky. There is a product called Andriol. Has anyone ever heard about a product called Andriol? So Andriol is an actual oral testosterone. It's prescription medication, widely available in European pharmacies, and it's the only legit oral testosterone medication that is by prescription only. It's 240 milligram, I believe. You would need shitload of it, to actually shift your testosterone levels and actually increase them. It's the good thing about it is doesn't metabolize through the liver. But the problem is it's so expensive that if you get it on the black market, it's just not going to be worth any money because it just doesn't work. So you realize this is actual testosterone. But because you take it in an oral form, your liver breaks it down. And like Robert said, these compounds, certain compounds, they don't metabolize because, of certain issues. It doesn't convert to testosterone. It doesn't raise your testosterone. And it's a prescription, which is basically, approved by sort of FDA type of governing bodies all over Europe and all over the world. It's a very popular product, but it still doesn't work. And it's an actual human grade testosterone product. It just doesn't work. The protein synthesis and all that, it comes from food. It comes from certain supplements that hormonally can increase your androgens level and your testosterone levels in your body, as well as to an extent estrogen levels. It's all science that is available. It's available.
You can't compare like testosterone to like
Oh
hormonal.
no! That's not what I'm doing. I'm not comparing, Lucas. I'm not comparing at all. It just doesn't. It doesn't work. That's the bottom line. It doesn't work. It's a placebo effect, and and even Robert and I discussed it. The evidence is there. The actually lack of evidence that it doesn't work, even at mega dosing it. It's pure hype. It's pure hype. If you look at the science of it, it just doesn't work. Science doesn't work, but this you will never be able. It's in your head, Lucas. You've been working out for many, many, many years. Can you really say that your body has changed so tremendously, muscle-wise, that you actually measured and you can attribute it to turkesterone? You won't be able to. There is a reason why scientists are coming out, religious scientists are coming out and say, stop the hysteria and stop the hype because this shit doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Because they don't have studies, while so many people have used it and the results are just speaking by itself.
Exactly, they are. Like right now, the science is actually there. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. There is no science about it. It doesn't work.
There's no science. There's no human studies on turkesterone yet taken it orally. So
Correct.
Robert, and you know very well it's not going to work. It's going to be another. It's going to be another because it doesn't. it doesn't increase hormonal levels in the body. The
But
body growth
it's
from
not.
what? From training, from nutrition, and from supplementation. But supplementation comes from hormonals. It's hormonal. You have people like, you talk to Dorian Yates, for example. He will tell you in his career, and we're talking about a guy who was fully loaded on drugs. He didn't deny it. And in a whole year, pure body weight, he said he would be successful, extremely successful, if he put on 5 pounds of muscles. He called it a huge, huge success. And we're talking about using calories on top of calories of food to fuel his body. We're talking about a person who would religiously take naps and make sure that his body fully recovers. We're talking a person with training methods that are, legendary, so to speak. Obviously, phenomenal genetics to respond not to necessarily training, but responding to drugs. If you look at bodybuilders who are actually stopping using drugs, right? Drugs, so let's call them performance enhancers or pharmaceuticals, whatever you want. If you look at them, look what happens to guys that are stopping the use of them. And some of them train extremely hard. I have guys coming to the gym on a daily basis. He trains his ass off. He trains exactly the same as he was training when he was obviously using a lot more stuff. And his body is nowhere near the same. Who you think he doesn't want to gain weight? He's still using more than turkesterone. And if you ask him, he's gonna go like, "What are you talking about?" And that's the thing. Like, look at bodybuilders who are training after they retired. Look at Dexter Jackson. Dexter Jackson is half his size after a year of not competing, if not more. But when you look at him at the gym, he's still methodical about his training. He's still methodical about his diet. He's still methodical about everything, and he still has superior genetics, and he's still using TRT because obviously he's using it for life. When you use TRT, that's 200 milligram of testosterone on average that is prescribed. This is all facts. None of it is bullshit. None of
Right.
that.
What does this have to do? Let's get back to turkesterone now. Where are you
Yeah.
going with this?
Yeah,
You're going off on a tangent here.
hold on a second. Let me finish, please. I listen to you guys. You can give me the same respect. I'm just
We
sick
are,
and
Robbie,
tired.
but you're
I'm not
you've
gonna.
gone
I'm
off
not
on a
gonna.
tangent.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be part of selling bullshit. We're selling bullshit. Number one, we don't have. You said there is no human studies. There's not going to be human studies. Nobody's going to do it. This is
Of course,
another. This
because
is another pro-hormone. So it's based on anecdotal reports. None of it works. It just doesn't. And the people who actually do use some kind of research and know where the product is coming from, they're disputing those claims, rightfully so, including Dave Palumbo, including people that actually do know. People releasing it purely because of money. That's it. There's stuff that works, like really, really works, and you have to attribute it. Like protein powders, they work just to get you enough protein to grow your body, but it's not exactly an anabolic steroid. It's not something that's going to hormonally improve you. You still have to train. You have to do all this. Lexogenin. Like, I mean, let's not be fucking like Robert. You said, like, what does it have to do? You're the first one who is not a big fan of Lexogenin. Why aren't you a fan of it? Because it's not that great.
It's got terrible bioavailability.
Exactly.
And I don't think it works.
Exactly. It does. It does. It's a hyped up product. And if you remember Lexogenin when it came out on the market 2, 3, 5 years ago, everybody was. Do you remember what they called it?
Well, they were trying to compare it to Anavar and
Exactly.
boosting protein synthesis by 200 to 2,000%.
Exactly. That's exact my point. You know what? Because it was in theory somebody came up with something that just doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work. You know what? If there's going to be a concrete evidence, I'll be the first one to say, guys, I apologize. You know what? I didn't know this fucking thing is phenomenal. But we don't have human studies. It's anecdotal reports. And we're selling shit to people because people are listening to us. We are selling shit to them. We're promoting something that is not proven to work. That's the bottom line.
So why did you add?
We're not promoting it. Lukasz and
No. We are
we
promoting it, Robert. Because when somebody says that there is a possible a kilo or two, or somebody says how great the product is, and it comes from Azerbaijan, and when you actually reach out to Azerbaijan, to people to actually manufacture over there, an actual manufacturing facility, and the first thing they say, like, it's a complete fucking joke. It doesn't exist over there. It's complete bullshit that somebody made up. Complete. And it was direct conversation with people from Azerbaijan that happened on Thursday. I went out of my way to make sure through Russia through our distributor over there to my partner to get to actually plant in Azerbaijan, in Baku, that actually have a plant and they have all the ingredients available to them, just like you have them here in the country. And I was like, okay, guys, can you explain to me? I would like some data on Azerbaijani and Turkesterone. And that they were like, come again? What are you talking about? I'm like, Turkesterone. Yeah, we heard about it. It's like, the new thing. And right now that everybody's talking about it. Yeah, I said, but I mean, from what I understand, you have the purest form. They're like, no, we don't. They said, like, most of our ingredients we get just like everybody else from China, Korea Pure from Germany and whatnot. So somebody made up a lie to make it
Is that
sound
just about
very,
like
very
the
cool.
purity of Azerbaijan?
There's no such thing as pure Turkesterone or purity Turkesterone in Azerbaijan. It doesn't exist.
Oh, okay. So you mean like it could come from like they just get it from somewhere else though?
They don't even fucking, like, if they get Turkesterone, they're gonna get it through China just like everybody else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is no
I
such
thought you
thing.
meant they said that their Turkesterone sucked. I was like,
No.
that's a weird thing.
No, they
I see what
said.
you mean.
Yeah, no, you're right. I have to rephrase it, I guess.
Oh, no. I get what you mean. I was just like,
I was like,
I
guys,
thought
do
it
you
was,
have like a super purity, like 99% kind of like the Germans claim that they create pure is the purest
German
form.
creatine.
Yeah. And that's what I implied. I was like, yeah, I would like to know. I wasn't like making fun of them or anything like that. I was like just doing research. I said I would like to understand, and perhaps even if it's so pure and there is some data behind it, I would like to get it. And they like, well, we'll be more than happy to sell it to you. We'll get it from China and fucking sell it to you, and you can put made in Azerbaijan if you want. We had a good laugh about it. It was a good conversation for about 40 minutes. But it just, the bottom line is like what I'm trying to say is that, listen, if there is something that works, it's great. It's phenomenal. We actually, remember we talked about it and Usain brought it up about innovation in the supplement industry in the past 10 years or something like that. If something works, it's great because we would love to get some innovation. We would like to get some ingredients that actually make a difference and make products better. But you know what? Everything is blown so much out of proportion. And so many lies are out there that are spread. And I'm not saying by us, or not even necessarily by brand owners, but maybe whoever sells it to them, that it's like it's fucking crazy. But the truth is, the body mechanics when it comes to muscle growth are very, very, very simple. They're very simple. There is nothing complicated about it. We know that why, the natural guys, they don't look like, there is a certain guy who claims to be natural. I'm not going to say who he is because everybody knows him. But when I looked at him, I was like, holy shit, you know what? Fucking your elbows like fucking 6 inches out of where they're supposed to be. And everybody who knows anything knows why his elbows look the way they do. But he's going around telling everybody that he's lifetime natural and he's natural and he's natural. And people believe it. I mean, some people at least do. It's just like, where's the limit? How far can it go? SARMs, people are saying that they don't work, that there is no evidence about them working, where actually the funny thing is that there is enough evidence about SARMs that they do work. And there is thousands and thousands of people who've used them, and it is a modulator and it does work. Where it's lacking, though, it's lacking about safety. Where it's lacking about is the long-term side effects. That I agree with. That I wholeheartedly agree that there is like lacking information. But, SARMs are illegal, so it's a completely different situation. But it's true. Lexogenin, I kind of like it, but you know what? And to be honest with you, I was the first one to say Lexogenin. I mean, it seems like it's a cool ingredient. Robert, remember we had this conversation? You were the first one to tell me like, okay, let's not push it. It's not that great. And I even like tried to argue with you, like, are you serious? Like, it's such a great ingredient. We had that conversation 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. And you actually showed me evidence. Like, listen, it's right in front of you. The bioavailability and the data is just not there. This is not a fucking Anavar. It's nowhere near Anavar. It's just blown up. And try to go and buy Lexogenin as an ingredient. That shit is so fucking expensive. It's crazy. Why?
Because if you do the branded Laxosterone one, yeah.
Oh, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Let's let Lukasz get in. I know he's been chomping at the bit to say something first.
I'm not going to say anything more because he has already said everything.
Well, no, go ahead. I mean, if you got a different viewpoint on it, let's get it out and discuss it.
To me, it's just like it's a completely mixing things up because, like, first of all, we are talking about supplements and not like hormonal, products. So Turkesterone is not even like affecting hormones. So saying that it will like boost your hormone levels or something like this is like a pure bullshit, and no one says that. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that you will never find any like research, especially human, because there is no funding and no one who will do those kind of things. And you can say it exactly the same about like laxosterone, laxogenin, all these compounds, because like people don't give a fuck about testing them up. If there will be like a millionaire that will like put money on the table and say, okay, you can do a research, and maybe someone will do it. But there's like a small percentage of people that will like even will be even be interested in doing this kind of procedures. So that's the whole thing.
And you know what the funny thing is, Lucas, is that I wholeheartedly agree with you. My
Give me
point,
just give me
yeah, go ahead. Sorry,
now something to say, because my English is super bad, so I can
that's
like
not true. Shut up. Your English is fine.
yeah. But as far as like comparing it, for example, you mentioned SARMs, right? There is no fucking evidence that SARMs are good for humans, and they are like backed by researchers or anything
That's
like
not
that.
true. That's not
Yeah,
true.
but
SARS are
hold
studied
hold on.
by pharmaceutical companies for
Yeah,
human purposes.
yeah, hold on. But as far as like but you said it after like many companies been studied SARMs first on animals, right? And then some of them use them for medicinal purposes, right? So, for example, like diseases in humans, such as like I don't know, like cancer or things like that, right? But as far as like pure hypertrophy, anabolic, responses and so on, like no one gives a fuck about that. And many people that use SARM said it straight away. These fuckers work, and you can definitely even compare them to steroids. So I wouldn't say that SARMs don't work, and I also wouldn't say that like stuff like Turk or Laxogenic doesn't work. If it wouldn't work, then you wouldn't have that much results in people that are like posting stuff on socials and so on. Of course, I totally understand that some people can overhype this, and let's say that some brands that are jumping on this wagon just to grab some cash flow.
Absolutely.
I fully agree with that. But you know what? I've been using Turk. I've been using SD. My mom was using SD when she was on her chemotherapy, and you know, for me and for my mom, it worked. I don't know how, but it worked. I I can show you my progress since I started using it. And some would say, oh, you're a fucking hater, or you're
No, not at all. Not at
shaming.
all. You're not.
No, nothing like that. I'm
No.
just saying from my perspective, and I've gained some really good results in it, and that's why I'm a believer, and that's why I'm promoting it, saying just try it.
Well,
You've never,
here is the thing. In everything that you said, I actually agree with you. I don't disagree. But when it comes to SARMs, don't forget that the number one, what it stands for, is androgen modulators. That's what they are. That's
yeah,
already, and there was actually substantial research that is done for medical purposes, like you said. The
yeah,
reason why it was not approved, there was only one reason why it wasn't approved. It's because of typically FDA takes years of research, and they couldn't prove the safety. And obviously nobody wants to get a lawsuit or anything like that. And then even though considering that certain SARMs, it wasn't proven that they cause cancer or anything like that, but because in mega dosing with rats, it seemed like it's causing cancer. That's
mhm,
the reason why they kind of put a stop to it. I'm
yeah,
not gonna say that that SARMs are all that. Some people are comparing them to steroids, which is obviously bullshit. but there is something to it in terms of like it is androgen modulators, and there was actually substantial research that has been done. One or two of them, I believe, were even very, very close to being approved, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. The thing is that I look at turkesterone like this. I mean, I didn't compare it to steroids. It's not the case. I'm not comparing it to androgen modulator either. What I do see is that I see a lot of misinformation. I do see a lot of misinformation. I do see a lot of, I would say, even misleading and lies thrown around by brands and promising things that are just simply not even necessarily not true, but just not proven. They're not proven. I mean, everybody, if you're gonna go and you're gonna purchase a car, right? You know what? There is such a thing as like test safety, where they testing safety on a car, and that's actually very, very important, because obviously that's very important to you. You want to make sure that you're getting a safe car. You want to make sure that it's safe against crash or something like that, and it's or safer, so to speak. This one is not proven. We had throughout the years, we had HMB, we had glutamine, we had laxogenin, we had so many so-called promising supplements or ingredients, and they are promising in a way, that people were overhyping and creating stories that this one is made from African tree somewhere in Zimbabwe, and some fucking elephant shit on it, and all of a sudden it's like the greatest thing ever. And this one's been used in China for fucking 10 centuries, and can get your dick harder than Viagra. I mean, we're getting claims like that over and over and over and over again. And that is something that is definitely, when we're charging people money for supplements, we're charging them for a promise to get better results. I mean, that's what they're paying for. And there's just not enough evidence on a lot of ingredients. And I'm not talking about turkesterone as is. I'm talking about a lot of other things. You've been training for many, many years, and your body doesn't change unless it's more body fat or less body fat. But in terms of muscle growth, it's not like you're constantly growing. And then you're going to have somebody who's going to jump on a quick fucking anavar or testosterone cycle, and in 3 months is going to blow your fucking results out of the water. Doesn't matter the fact that you're eating very clean. Doesn't matter that you're training religiously. Doesn't matter that you're very committed to the lifestyle. He's still going to blow you out of the water, which is unfair. And then as soon as he's done doing what he's doing, he's going to look worse than you.
But probably, you know me, I train for
life,
for many, many years, and I'm in the best shape of my life right now. So I'm seriously, I'm being serious, and I'm not just bragging.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
I dropped a lot of weight, and I also like recomp a lot. My body has changed a lot, a lot, and I see veins, all over my body. It's hard for me to sit right now on my ass because I don't have fat on my ass, bro.
But be honest, your diet is also perfect, and you're training very hard too.
But what I only did was I incorporated Turk, and that was basically it, man. So that's why I'm just saying, if you want to test it out, try it on yourself. But I totally agree with you on one aspect. Sourcing is a fucking important thing, and people need to understand that, because nowadays, like 90% of brands are jumping on this bandwagon, and they are like releasing product that is based on turkesterone, while it's not. 90% of the products are not including turkesterone, the good ingredient.
And again, you know what? And again, I probably will agree with you, because I've seen people who are using it and calling it junk. So perhaps
Yes.
they were using something that is either underdosed or just bad purity. I mean, it's very, very possible.
Correct, brother, and that's the exact same situation that is applied to other ingredients, laxosterone, glutamine, and so on.
Oh, you can go in and say that about fucking beta-alanine. I mean, anything is possible.
Correct. I had a friend, and he's telling me that I'm taking 5 grams of glutamine, and it's not working on my recovery. And I'm like, dude, go fuck yourself.
But here's a question for you. Why did he say that? Because he got that information from somewhere or from somebody that said that glutamine is going to help him with his recovery. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. But he's right. The thing is that he's mixing up the research because glutamine has no impact on recovery. It has a really good immune support, effect, and also it helps with the gut, with digestion, and so on. So if you, for example, I take 20 grams of glutamine per day,
But
and
not for the same reason, not for the recovery.
yes, of course, yeah, that's the thing. People don't understand the research, and I fully agree with you when you say there is a fucking misinformation out there, because there is. People are like claiming stuff that it's not true, and that's why we have this podcast here, and we can say whatever we want.
Exactly. You know what? I'll give you two examples. Two supplement store owners, right? Two different ones. One of them just recently asked me about Enigma, and he said how great the product is and how much he loves it and how much he sells it. Everything was great. And he goes to me, he says, I hope you're not changing the formula. I said, well, actually, I'm considering it. I just don't know whether it's going to be 22 or 23. Now listen to this. And he goes to me, what do you want to do? I'm like, I'll make like a little tweaks and a little changes. I said, one of the things, because I was very honest about it, I said, I'm thinking about taking out glutamine out of it because I don't feel, like, look, I'm criticizing myself right now. I said, I don't feel that glutamine really belongs in that formula. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I don't think it's like really adds anything to that formula itself. Do you know what he told me? He told me, he says, you can get anything out of that formula. Aminos, he says, whatever you want, but do not touch glutamine because glutamine is everything for recovery. I'm looking for him at him, and my jaw drops. This is the guy who owns a supplement store. He sells supplements, and it wasn't like he was bullshitting me. He was 100% convinced that he's right. I didn't get into argument with him or anything. I just questioned him again. I was like, you think glutamine is the main ingredient in Enigma? He goes to me, oh, 100%, bro, you have to keep it. He says, you can change other things around, but do not move glutamine. I'm like, okay, no problem. Now, second example, there was a supplement store owner. He did not, this was a long time ago, about 5-6 years ago. He didn't take our 50-50 Formula X protein into his store. Do you know the reason why? Because casein is very, very bad for you and it makes you fat. So these are the people who are selling supplements. They are within the industry. So a customer comes to the store and he's selling him this supplement. So he's telling him casein will make you fat, or glutamine will help you with recovery. The most basic things that everybody knows. But this is the industry that we have. So sometimes it's ignorance, but sometimes it's pure lack of knowledge.
Yeah, I agree.
To just to add to the Turk topic, I think I see what both of you guys are saying, because I like Robert said, if there's no scientific study, yeah, but then Lukasz is on the other fence. See, I'm sort of that person where, like, if you did a study on 10 people and the ingredients said that it didn't do shit, and then I tried it
and it worked.
And it worked. Not even that. There's 6-7 billion people in the world. 10 people is fuck all, and there's a damn good chance that, because then the opposite would also work. Because if there's a study on 10 people and it says it helps me build muscle, and then I try it and it doesn't happen, I'm not saying that it doesn't build muscle, but I'm just saying it doesn't do that for me. So I just do it in reverse. I'm like, just because the study says this doesn't mean that'll be the case for me, and vice versa. Even if there's a study that says Turk sucks, I'm still going to think that. I'm still going to take it. But I understand your stance. As a brand, it's hard to get behind something that doesn't necessarily have like a scientific backing. But for like, that's why, like, and to Lukasz's point when he said that just try Turk, to be honest, I wasn't that much of a believer because I had the ecdysterone. Did dick for me. I had it 2 months and I just didn't notice much of a change.
Do you mind saying what brand you used?
Oh fuck, I don't remember. It was like 4 months ago. I'll get back to you. I don't know which one it is.
Okay. Was it at least a good brand, do you think?
It was a brand I knew
Okay.
because I know that it came. I got a deal with someone.
Q?
Anyway, huh?
Was it
No,
Q?
no. Oh, maybe it was. It was two different brands. I had one from one the other, and I had one month and one the other. So that was kind of like.
I remember we talked about Q.
Yeah, but so yeah, like for me, it's, and that's kind of like for Turk, and I saw a video on YouTube, and people were saying like, there was a video about how Turk sucked, and I was like, so I watched it, and the comments were basically people just saying, like, just try it, because it's hard to sort of, because you can't argue if you don't have scientific evidence, and I completely understand that. But the thousands of people that have, tens of thousands probably, that have said that it actually does something, I'm like, maybe there is something to it. So I took it, and I saw a leap. And I'm kind of like Lukasz. I can tell when something's off. And I'm not saying it's hormonal at all. Because like I said, if I have like a test booster, I'll notice when I'm like, my dick's hard. I'll notice when I'm like feeling stronger or I'm mentally driven better. But that's not this. Not even close. I just feel there's something in that recomp area. I'm not stronger. I just look a little bit fuller. And I don't know what the fuck it is. That's just my experience. But that's why I'm sort of, like I said, I'm going to cycle off 4 weeks. And theoretically,
Just to
I should
recap.
drop. I should drop. And then I should jump back on it. And then I should go up again. Theoretically.
True.
Or if I don't drop and then I jump on and I jump up even more. Just to test the theory. But
I'm sorry to interrupt
would-
you. Will you be using the same brand?
yes, yeah. I'm not going
Okay.
to swap.
Okay.
Just, I mean, that would kind of ruin the but like, it was just too coincidental for me that Lukasz reported the exact same kind of thing that I was noticing. And I was like, that's far too fucking weird. And I know it's not muscle. I'm not going to gain a kilo of muscle in a month. That's ridiculous. I just thought that there was something to it. But if someone took it and they were like, I didn't see shit. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, that's the case for me. Like I remember Craze back in the day from Driven Sports. I didn't feel that at all. But I know people that lit their nuts on fire for that thing. And it's the same with other stims and other pre-workouts, or even to the extent of when you see a bodybuilder and he's like, I do bicep curls like this to build my bicep. I can do bicep curls like that, and my bicep's still going to look like a sausage. It's still going to suck.
I agree with that.
So for me, it's just, both of you guys are right. Robert's not wrong for not agreeing with it because there's no scientific evidence. That makes complete sense. But I'm a little bit like Lukasz, where it's like, well, if there's enough people saying it, and I try it, and it has a noticeable effect, even God himself comes down and tells me that Turk is bullshit, I'm going to say, fuck you. It worked for me. Even if it's placebo, even if it is placebo, nothing, any money you spend, that even if it's in your head that makes you a kilo leaner and fuller, damn, I'd pay that every day, even if it was shit. But, like, that's why I'm just trying to, and the best you can do is keep your variables to the minimum. Same with the study. The study could have these variables too. But all I need to do is personally keep them to a minimum. And if it's enough for me to believe in it, then I'm probably going to buy it for the rest of my life. But I think it's, like I said, I can understand how someone would put on a kilo, like I might have in 2 or 3 weeks, and then be like, holy fuck, I gained a kilo of muscle. But I don't think that's the case at all. I don't think you can... But I can see how someone might have taken it, and if they got similar results to me, they may think that they actually built a kilo of muscle. Because it has that nice illusion of you feeling fuller all day. It's not like it doesn't turn off, you just feel full whole day. I can see how people would tell their friend, be like, bro, I gained a kilo of muscle on this. And it's lean muscle. And then he tells the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy, and then I can get that. And I think that might lead to why the hype might be a bit too much. Because if it does sort of have something in that realm, it's not really a muscle builder. It's only really a muscle builder in the sense that it gives you extra weight to help build more muscle, but it's not like actually making the muscle. So I can see both points, and I completely agree. I think it's two different mindsets. Like how you said that Lukasz wouldn't spend so-and-so money on a maybe. I'd spend $50 on a maybe product every day of the week. That's just me. But I think that there are people like Robert, and that make perfect sense. Like if I saw a banana and it said that it could poison me.
Everything you said is
I would.
100% true, and I couldn't agree more. Well, you actually touched up on something that is very, very, that kind of triggered another question. You said muscle building, right? So sometimes we get these muscle building.
Yeah, we get it. We get it mixed up.
Yeah, no. The muscle building formulas. I'm not talking about pills or something like that that make outrageous claims or anything like that. I'm talking about a muscle building powder that has a lot of shit in it, a lot of carbs and a lot of everything.
Gainer.
Like a gainer, correct?
Yeah.
But sometimes they call it a gainer, sometimes they call it a muscle builder, right? And if you
I've
look
seen
at
that.
it, yeah, if you look at it, it says, and I actually like what you said, gainer. If somebody said a gainer, trust me, I'm not gonna have a fucking
Yeah,
problem with
I
that.
know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I would have no problem with that because
It doesn't build muscle. It gives you
Yeah,
the
but
nutrients
it
to
did-
potentially build muscle. But people
100%.
can assume that if they drink this, that they build muscle
Yes.
without doing anything.
Yeah.
That's
We're
kind of like
on
why
the
I like to
same page.
distinguish it. Yeah.
And everything you said is correct. 100% agree. Totally, you got exactly what I was trying to say. Here is the problem. I have somebody that comes to the gym, and I have a lot of those, obviously, but he's been using one of those. Want to call them gainers? I like to call them gainers.
Weight gain is another good one.
Yeah, weight gainer is a perfect fucking word for it. I believe Twin Lip used to make fucking huge, fucking
Yeah.
10 or 20 fucking bags.
Muscle juice 2544.
So anyway, this kid that was a while ago. He comes to the gym a couple of years ago, and he's been using that. So he was buying fucking bags of that shit, and he's been using it. And
I know where this is going.
right in front of my eyes, the kid is getting huge. I mean, huge. I mean, ridiculous. And he would always come up to me. Yeah, I've been using this powder. I'm not going to say what brand because it's a shit brand, but I'm using this muscle builder. He didn't call it a fucking gator. He called it a muscle builder. I'm using this. Man, this shit works. Man, this shit works. Now, keep in mind, the only thing I see is his face. I see his body is big, but his face is like fucking like a fat bastard. It's insane. Then he comes to me because I used to judge NPC shows and whatnot. And he comes to me and he goes to me, "You want to have a look at me?" He says, like, about my progress. And I'm like, okay, I'll sure, no problem. Fucking
Don't forget the tan. Put the
Yeah.
tan on.
And he takes his clothes off, and you can obviously imagine what I see. I just see a big pile of fat. I mean, it's just fucking
Grimace.
He looks disgusting. And he's posing, and he's hitting poses, and he's fucking lats. He's crunching abs, but all you see is a fucking fat gut. You don't see even remotely anything that would resemble an ab. So he goes to me, he goes, "What do you think?"
Buckets.
Yeah, and I'm looking at him. I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes to me, "Do you see changes in me?" And I trust me. You know what? If I can avoid being a dick, I'll try. So I'm like, "You're bigger." I see you bigger. So he goes to me like, "Good size, right? Good mass." I'm like, "Depends how you look at it." And we're like, it depends.
So just be like, there's mass.
You're big. He goes to me, and he goes, I put on like 30 or 40 pounds or whatnot. He's huge.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Damn.
So he goes to me, this product is legit. I don't even know if we had Apollon nutrition back then. I don't remember. But he goes to me, this product is amazing. This product is. So he goes to me, do you think I can compete in 12 weeks?
I don't know. He might have been able to.
And the first thing that came to mind,
You're
and
not gonna win. You can compete.
no, Robert, it was a lot worse. You know
No,
what?
he'll get on stage. I don't know if he's going to be able to compete in the sense that.
No, my answer was worse. I was like 12-week prep. He goes to me, yeah. I said, what year? He goes to me. He goes to me in 3 months. I was like, no. I said, you're not going to be ready. He goes to me, why? I said, because you're fat. I said, you're very fat. I said, you're seriously overweight. He goes to me, well, the product. So you know what? I try to explain to him, like, listen, the product that you're using is just garbage, shitload of calories. You might as well go and eat McDonald's if you want or something like that, because this is garbage. He goes to me, my coach told me to use it. It's a good muscle muscle builder. It's a good muscle builder. I was like, okay. So I said, who's your coach? I said, just out of curiosity. So he shows me this fucking Instagram of a coach. Guess what? Can anyone guess?
Jay Cutler. I don't
No,
know.
not the name. The connection. Can you put two and two together?
Supplement uses sponsored athlete. Right?
Exactly.
Uh,
So I mean, that's like the fuck is going on. I mean, I understand the kid was stupid, but that's the problem. And then, just recently there was somebody who came to the gym, and again, he's been going to the gym. The kid works very hard. He trains his ass off. He hires a coach. He has a coach, and then he fucking takes his shirt off and he goes to me. I'm competing in 7 weeks. Now he looks more like he's 17 weeks out, not 7. Um, yeah, I tried.
I try not to be mean.
But
Yeah, you're fat.
but here's the thing. So the guy goes, my coach put me on a low carb diet. He says, like, I'm 7 weeks out, I'm on a low carb diet.
By now.
Yeah. You know what his low carb diet is? In the morning,
500.
2 bagels in the morning. Bagels. We're not even talking like the good shit. 2 bagels. Then he has 2 bagels post workout. I'm like, I was like, that's your 7 weeks out low carb. I said, I'm scared to ask, what is your high carb day is?
3 bagels.
Yeah, something tells me 4. But
4 buckets.
That is a sweet, sweet diet. I'll tell you that.
yeah, but muscle builder, you know what? I've seen on a lot of. Does Optimum Nutrition bag has muscle builder or weight gainer?
It says
They-
option. I think it's
Yeah, theirs is called Serious Mass.
Serious mass. I mean, yeah, some companies have muscle builder for sure. I definitely saw it. But
Yes. It's
That-
I know exactly what you mean, because it's one of those things where like a brand will be like,
pisses me off.
it's kind of like creatine. Like if you take creatine and you sit down and you don't do anything, it's not going to do much. But if you utilize it and go to work in the gym, you will build muscle. So in essence, it is a muscle builder. And I guess a gainer is in the same way. Like if you take it and you pair it with your workout but there's got to be an understanding. Like if you're a 100-pound kid and you're taking 2,000 calorie gainer post workout, you're not gonna use that. And if you don't eat for the rest of the day, you're really not gonna use it. So I think there has to understanding to go with it. But I get what you mean, because I see comments on my site lift all the time. It'll be like some guy from like the Middle East just be like, "Oh, I was 150 pounds. I've been taking this gainer twice a day, and I'm 140 pounds." And I'm like, "Well, I don't know what you're doing wrong, bro, but you're doing something wrong. That doesn't add up."
You know what?
But like, there's got to be an understanding to it, I think, especially with that kind of stuff.
Bro, 90% of people in the gym are training like pussies. And
That's
that's
That's true.
the bottom line. So, and they think that, they can train for, let's say, half an hour. And after half an hour of like bullshitting, sitting on their phone, texting, Instagramming, saying that they are in the gym and they are like lifting weights, and they're getting jacked as fuck. And after 30 minutes, they trying to gulp a mass gainer or mass builder, as probably preferred to, which has, let's say, 2,000 calories.
On a good day.
Cause a scoop is like a fucking shovel, or they put like a full entire bucket into their shaker, shake it up, and try to like gulp 2,000 calories in one go, and they think they will grow from that. That's just bullshit, and that is what we were saying, earlier about this fake marketing. That's the thing. That puts people into like this deep shit hole when brands are like saying, "Oh, take this bucket or take that bag," and put on some like quality muscle. Fuck no.
He might
They're
have put
not-
on some muscle. You don't know. He probably put on some. There had to have been some
The
muscle
layers
gain.
and layers and layers.
If he put
of
on
that.
40 pounds of weight, it's got to be some of it, like maybe a pound. There has to be some muscle. But then if you obviously cut, it'd probably take it all away. But still, there's got to be some in there.
But you know what? Like Lukasz said, there is still a lot of misconception, and there is still a lot of lack of knowledge, despite all the data that we have. And actually, one of the questions that I was asked recently, and I think that this is actually a great question for the panel here. Maybe Robert can go a little bit deeper into this. But we always say about science and about research and about medical research and whatnot. And one of the most researched ingredients are obviously creatine. I mean, there is so much fucking research and knowledge and everything. However, creatine still has a reputation, and one athlete who is getting ready for a show actually has another coach, but for some reason asked me this question. I'm not going to say what I answered. Said to me, "What do you think about me using creatine before, for my contest prep? Because creatine is, is bad for you because it makes you retain water, and it's just not that good." But the bottom line is, and you see, like Lukasz is shaking his head, Robert is shaking his head, and rightfully so. But the truth is this fucking information still out there. And then when you try to explain, then they go, yeah, but what about creatine HCl? And what about creatine magna power? And which one makes you retain less water? And which one is, one destroy your definition and whatnot? So, I mean, care to discuss?
I guess no. It's ignorance that's bred up in the culture. I mean, it's why boxing coaches still have their guys running 15 miles. Before it's just something that's inbred in the culture. And these people, not inbred like you're marrying your cousin, but it's like steeped into the culture, and just it's ignorance that people don't understand it. Creatine does make you retain water in your muscle cell. Yeah, I mean sure, there might be a small fraction of individuals out there that react poorly to it and do get some GI distress, some cramping, diarrhea, bloating. Sure, maybe you can try a different creatine supplement, or just don't do it. There's other cell saturating, hydrating agents out there like betaine, taurine, glycerol, even though I'm not a big fan of regular glycerol powder, but glycerin, like the liquid glycerin, yeah, that can be beneficial. Should he use it into his prep? I wouldn't load it his week of prep. I mean, I would have started it 8 weeks ago, 8 weeks out. You don't throw shit into your thing. If you're in your final week or two of prep, you don't mess with anything like that. You don't start throwing in new supplements. You don't start throwing in new sweeteners, new vegetables, anything that can distend and cause your body to flip its shit when it's such in a chronically high stress state already. Especially if you're a physique athlete. Now, if you're a power lifter and you're looking to like get a little bit extra oomph, you could do the creatine loading like that, and that's fine. But as a physique athlete, don't start taking it the week that your show is there. I think that's just a recipe for disaster.
Follow-up question. If you are dieting, say, the typical diet that people go like either for a show or for a summer or for fucking vacation,
Mhm.
it's typically what, 12, 16 weeks? That's the average time that people decide to diet.
Yeah.
And there is another misconception apart from creatine, and you probably can guess what it is, and that's sodium. People are petrified of sodium, and they go to as far as eliminating sodium from their diet because of fear of water retention. I mean, they go to extremes. And again, Lucas's smirk says it all, and we're on the same page about it. But what would you say about it?
Assuming you're a natural individual and not an enhanced stuff, because when you start bringing in all of these other kind of diuretics and other
Well, let's go with
anabolic agents.
natural. Let's go with natural, more
Yeah, because
common.
I'm saying that is affects physiology on a completely different level that I have no experience with personally, and I haven't delved into that wormhole. So we're gonna put this in the context of the natural individual.
Okay.
As long as you aren't going one way or the other with your sodium, like you're not gorging on it and you're not eliminating it completely. Like your body needs between like 300 to 500 milligrams a day at minimum just to sustain functions like optimal health, wellness, function, all that stuff. And provided you're getting enough potassium in there, I don't think you need to be cutting sodium. I mean, cut the processed foods, cut out the Chinese takeout that's got 6,000 milligrams of sodium in a serving of that. Obviously, I mean, you don't need to gorge on sodium, but do you need to completely eliminate it from your diet to get lean? No, as long as you're hydrating properly with fluids and getting in enough potassium, so you keep that ratio of potassium to sodium in the body, since one regulates fluid inside the cell and one regulates extracellular fluid levels. So you want to have a balance of the two.
Yeah, I agree with that. Would you say there is also another two big arguments about regular salt versus being Himalayan salt, as well as regular water versus, the fancy water, alkaline and all that? Uh,
Yes.
What would you say?
Gas water.
Distilled. Yes, distilled would be the right one. What would
Well,
you
no, I
say
mean,
about
alkaline
gas
water
water.
is bullshit. It's not going to affect your body's pH. Your body maintains a very tight balance over your pH. So you ingesting this magical $8 a liter water that's been alkalized or reverse osmosis and all shit, don't. No. Distilled water has nothing in it either. Like there's no minerals in it. There's nothing. So I wouldn't recommend jumping on that either. Just regular water. If you want to go with bottled water that's been filtered, sure, that's fine. But don't get the alkali pH shit. That please don't do that. And then regular salt versus pink Himalayan salt. There is a lot of hype that pink Himalayan salt is this bounty of micronutrients. There's 4,000 trace minerals of it, and I'm thinking, okay, you're sprinkling this little bit of salt on there. Do you really think you're getting efficacious amounts of this mystical 300, 400, 500 trace minerals that are no? It sounds better because it's harvested from the Himalayas. It's more natural than, I guess, iodized salt. But there was a reason iodine was put in salt, back 100 years ago now, because people were deficient in iodine. They weren't eating seaweed. They weren't eating kelp, seafood, and all those kind of things. So it was addressing a deficiency. And when you don't get enough iodine, you are going to have a fucked up thyroid, which is going to stunt metabolism, is going to impair fat loss and hormone regulation, all kinds of other stuff. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with iodized table salt. I use both at the house, just whatever I'm grabbing that day. I'll use rock salt. I use, kosher salt. But no, I don't think there's anything. It looks nice on a supplement label, and it makes for a good story and marketing copy. No.
But would you say, in your humble opinion, or if you want to even go as far as saying based on science, actual science, would you call pink Himalayan salt hype?
Yeah, I mean, from the supplement marketing of it, yeah, it's definitely, it's hype over. I mean, it's sodium, and then there's all these trace minerals that you think you're getting. It's in such infinitesimally small, insignificant quantities that it's not going to push the needle one way or the other.
Okay,
It's definitely overhyped. But as far as
Salt is life.
yeah, but
I like salt.
It's life, definitely.
Shane. Fuck, I feel like I'm interviewing. Shane, you travel a lot. Well, you're about to resume your travel.
Well, I fucking used to.
You used to, okay. So when you used to travel a lot, you typically said to me when we had this conversation, you told me that you about eat the same shit on a daily basis, about average, right? More or less.
That's the goal, yeah.
Okay, so when you travel from country to country, I would assume that you probably, as closely as possible, still stick to the same shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you know where I'm going with this now?
No. But
Okay.
I like the excitement.
Okay, so would you say that you see changes in how your body reacts to the same foods, but in the different countries?
Oh, yes. Fucking America. God damn.
For the worse or for the better?
I don't
Who's
really. It's hard to gauge. Like, dude, your chickens are huge. I seen the size of their fucking chicken.
No.
Anabolic. It's anabolic
Stop.
But like, I don't really see. Like, I don't.
How many
it's
grams
hard
of chicken do you usually have? Approximately.
200.
200.
That's uncooked.
Okay, so disregard the carbs.
I don't know what that is
chicken.
in ounces.
It doesn't matter. So you're 200 of chicken in New Zealand and 200 grams of chicken in US. Will you feel the difference?
Oh,
Will your
it's not
body
so-
will your body feel the difference?
it's not so much visual; it's digestion.
Okay.
My shits, and I don't know why, but my shits are like the perfect log in America. Like, I don't know why, and I don't change anything. Just, I'll sit down and I'll lay the perfect snake, head creeping out of the water, and it's just, and it baffles me because I eat the same shit. But then sometimes, like, I've been to countries where, like, I'll eat what I think is like chicken and egg and pretty straightforward, and it's like Mount Vesuvius. It's like a fucking, it's explosive, man. It's an eruption. And it's the weird because it's the same, but then it still tapers off at the same time. Like, eventually my poos will be regular, I won't feel as bloated, my stomach will be, it just feels like if I didn't know I was eating chicken and I just purely gauged on how my stomach felt and how my digestion was, I would have thought I ate fucking takeout the first time I eat that same food in a different country. It's weird.
So you go through basically kind of like adapting period.
Yeah, you eventually adapt, but like, and then I noticed and this is another weird thing, like in the US, I don't know what it is, but it's very rare to get two yolks in one egg for me in New Zealand. Like it just never happens. I would get like a fucking tray of eggs in America, and it was like every third one had two yolks, and I don't know what the hell was going on. I was like, this, is, and when I did that, if it was my first egg, I'd be like, well, not having a second egg then, am I? Because I don't want to have too much of that. But I, to be honest, the best that I've felt and the cleanest and the nicest was fucking Eastern Europe. I don't know what it is. Like maybe they actually just, the mother out in the fields just actually raises the chicken and then, I don't know, kills it and then sells it at the local market. But it just, I don't know what it is. It's just that food. Less distressing. Seems a little cleaner. I don't know. It just,
Lucas, you probably have a lot like of farms and like more like real organic, right? Food.
Yeah, it's here in like even the bigger markets are buying the produce from local markets or local farmers and so on. So the produce is way cleaner. I will give you like a pure example. Normally I'm buying like chicken breasts, from Lidl or other like hypermarkets, right? So when I'm cooking the chicken, it's like it's like boiling, and it's like plenty of water is like getting rid of, right? But when I buy the chicken breast from a local farmer here that comes every Saturday to the farmers market, bro, it's a completely different experience. And the meat is tender and you can't overcook it. And it's juicy, it's moist, it's so damn good.
Is it
Same
more expensive?
a bit, but it's not that expensive. It can cost you maybe like 1 or 2 zloty, which is nothing. Which is like maybe $1 or something like that. But it's even less than $1. Same thing with like eggs and so on. The egg yolks. There is like this hype that when you crack the egg, it's orangey. But trust me, when you eat that kind of egg, it's literally mind blowing. So yeah, I would definitely say that it makes a huge difference, from that perspective, not only from taste wise, but I think that from also like health perspective, it plays a big role. So yeah, I would definitely invest more money into like quality ingredients instead of like buying cheaper stuff. But that's just me. I'm not spending money on like clothes or anything like that. I'm not bougie. I'm not fancy. So I honestly don't give a fuck. About what
no roads, no pants, just
of
people
course.
rolling around.
Oh yeah, man. I'm a hoodie jogger type of a guy.
Yeah.
That likes baggy stuff. That's basically it. I don't need that much, to live. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
So if I want to like spend money, I always put my cash on the table as far as like quality ingredients or food wise.
Last call for any comments and questions from the peanut gallery. Tuning in, guys. While we give you a few seconds to let the hamster wheel circle in your brain. Logan, while we were on the subject, we're jumping back to this. I saw a study of ecdysterone causing kidney issues in rats. Came out in 2018. Thoughts on this? Yeah, I pulled this up in the interim, Logan. It says they were comparing it versus aldosterone, which is something that is responsible for eliminating water from the body and interacting with the kidneys, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's a diuretic.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the study found that it has similar effects on the kidneys as aldosterone, and that it causes cellular apoptosis, so self-programmed death by the cells, and a few other unfavorable things like hardening of the tubes in the kidneys, the renal tubes. Am I concerned about that? I need to go in and see. It's in vitro and in vivo, so they injected them, and they also gave it to them orally. They're probably megadosing this stuff to the rats, but I would need to dive in further, and that is knowledge I'm not very well versed in, is the actual methods used in the study, nor the translation between kidney physiology in rats versus human physiology for kidneys. So I'm not alarmed by it. There was that study done in humans on ecdysterone, I think in 2019. They didn't notice any unfavorable impacts on hormone levels, adverse effects. Like there was no suppression, there was no shutdown, there was no adverse effects on liver or kidneys or anything either that I'm aware of. So I'm not really concerned about it, just me. And I think we would have had more data coming out saying that ecdysterone is toxic to the kidneys than just this one study. So chances are they might have been megadosing it to the rats, but I have no idea. I'd have to dive further into the study.
Lukasz, didn't they have the same with what you call it? Cancer with not the SARM, the one that I like. Fucking, I forgot.
MK?
GW.
Yes, GW. When they said that fucking rats were dying from cancer and shit like that, and everybody went crazy. I remember even TJ was like petrified of it, but the dose was like something like fucking 10,000 milligram or some crap like that. When in reality, the dose is what, like 10 to 20 milligram, and it's
through the roof.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's,
same thing with like saccharin or sweet and low. Everybody's still scared that it's a cancer packet, and then that cancer pathway doesn't exist in humans. Those studies were done in rats, and they were giving them, probably 40 times the amount of human, 40,000 times the amount of human will actually consume in a day.
But you do know that people are still scared of it,
right? Yeah.
I always like when Roberts says that the dosage is the poison, or
something the poison.
Yeah, the dose makes the poison. Yeah.
Kill yourself with water if you drink enough of it.
Yeah.
Brooke, Peanut Gallery, chiming in to say thank you for the stream. Thank you for always tuning in, Brooke. We appreciate it. And the rest of you lovely sons of bitches out there.
And Shrita. Thank you, Shrita.
Insanity. Yeah. Yes.
Thanks, gents, and thanks.
Thank you,
guys. Nice ladies out there.
Yes. If you have any topics of discussion for a future episode and you're catching this on replay, leave it down below in the comment section. Send an email to thesupplementengineer@gmail.com or contact Robbie, Lukasz, or Shane at their preferred points of contact on the interwebs. Thank you guys as always. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with family, friends, and loved ones. And if you're interested in purchasing some sports nutrition supplements and receiving a
Fact
discount, 15% off at Apollon Nutrition with code FINALSCOOP. Thank you, my friends. It's great as always. Oh, Sweetheart got it in under the wire.
Thank you, Sweetheart. Because Robert was just going to ease right past it. There's actually a really good podcast coming this next week. I've been trying to get this one done for fucking ages. It's with Jack Owak. Bang. I emailed him like ages ago, and he was like, he's really fucking busy. I think I've only ever received a reply from him at like midnight. So the dude like works like a beast. And then I was like, I'll try again. And then he connected me to his I'm assuming assistant or something. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you can do this time. And I was like, I'll fucking take the fastest one I can get, the earliest one I can get. I'm in.
There you go.
I don't know what we're going to talk about. I have a vague idea, but
bang.
I feel like that's going to be fun. You should play a drinking game. The amount of times we say bang is, did you take a shot? We're going to be banging.
Take a sip of my bourbon. Yes, I will. I can do that. I'll do a shot of Zubrovka. I can do a shot of Zubrovka every time you say the word bang.
It's probably going to be in the hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
Simon says, see y'all next week. Yes, thank you one and all for joining us, and we'll catch you all next time.
You guys.
Final scoop.